Students, welcome to Young India session. Today, let us get started with the class. And the first article that we are going to discuss is something regarding the electricity or whatever you call it, like to prevent the darkness. Prevent darkness. So, what will we use in order to prevent the darkness? Means, for example, if there is no light in a room, what will we do in order to make that darkness go away so that light enters in? Of course, in the daytime we have sunlight which will enter through the windows or doors and gives you the light, preventing the darkness. But what about night times? Basically, in all our homes we have bulbs, or let's say tube lights. Okay, tube lights or bulbs, any one will be having, or both will be having, right? So what is used in these bulbs or tube lights? Electricity. Here comes the main concept. So whatever, if you switch on a fan or a tube light or your TV, what is being used? Energy is being used. Through what? Through electricity. So whenever we supply electricity, only then we can make electrical devices work, right? In the same manner, electricity is used by tube lights or bulbs to prevent the darkness in the night times. Okay, I'm talking about night times. Now, coming to villages, this is something very, very important. So if you just speak about villages, if you have observed, or you can just ask your grandparents or maybe parents, they will always tell you that, they might already told you, or they will be telling, if you once you ask your parents, how were you reading when you were small, or you can ask your grandparents, how were you reading during your childhood when you were small, they will tell with kerosene lamps. What are these kerosene lamps? So though during those times when your parents and your grandparents were in their childhood, what happened was electricity was not used by many people. It was not affordable by many people. So only the rich were able to afford the electricity. Whereas coming to the normal people or the very poor people, middle class people or very poor people, they have to use something called kerosene lamps. Now what is a kerosene lamp? It is nothing but when you use a lamp with kerosene, you have a mechanism there and then it produces the light. Okay, so this was used in villages during the like when your ancestors were small. Okay, and this one was not lasting for long time, just for a few hours. Later on it will go away, it will fade away, the light will go. Okay, and if you see nowadays also in some very backward or very rural areas or villages, I'm not telling in all villages, but like a few of the villages are still using this kerosene lamps. Why do you think so? Because they are not able to afford it. Even if you see in tribal areas and all, they don't have electricity supply, right? If you just go to a forest, you will see many tribal people. They will not have any kind of electricity there. The connections will not be given. Even if they want to, because of the forest region, because of heavy rains and all the animals and all, you can't give electricity supply to those forest regions. It is very difficult. So they use kerosene lamps now also, right? But recently what happened is, okay, before telling the main part of this article, let me tell you one thing. Here if you just see, we can extract electricity from sunlight I'll explain you detailedly, but I am explaining you lightly. Okay, sunlight, water, coal, okay, let's say wind, and etc. Okay, so we can extract electricity, that is, we can make electricity out of sunlight. So you know something called as solar panels. I think every one of you know. So this is how solar panels look. They'll be like boxes or squares. Okay, so and you'll be having one more small things like this. So this whole thing is called a panel, and each one, this whole thing is called a solar panel. Whereas each single one, this box which is present is known as solar cell. Okay, the whole is known as a solar panel, whereas the single unit, the single square box which is present is known as a solar cell. Okay, so whenever sunlight falls on these solar panels, you might have observed in buildings, on the building top, like on the terrace of the building, you'll be having solar panels in some houses or some offices or some buildings. What they are used for? So whenever sunlight falls on these solar panels, so I have a sun here, the sunlight is falling on these solar panels, right? Whenever the sunlight falls on these solar panels, what will happen is these solar panels will absorb the sunlight and they will convert the light energy into electricity. There will be that electricity which is being converted will be supplied to the building or any other power supply unit. So this is how solar panels are used. And if you see, water also we can extract. And famously, you know, wind, you might have seen this big fans in Tirumala or anywhere. These are known as windmills, you all know. They will be rotating, right? They will be rotating like this. These are known as windmills, right? So whenever these fans rotate, they are generating the electricity. Whenever something is being rotated, it produces energy, which means we can convert that energy into electricity. We can also extract the electricity from wind. So till now I told you how we can extract electricity from sunlight and wind. Let's see water. I think you have seen dams. So basically dams should be like this, no? As far as you people have seen, these are something known as dams. And water will be forcefully coming here. And something will be there below this water. Like circular things will be there. These circular ones are known as turbines. What are these? They are called turbines. Whenever the water starts falling on these turbines very forcefully, because of that water force, these turbines will start rotating. They will start rotating. So whenever they start rotating, what will happen is they will produce energy, and that energy will be converted into electricity. In this manner, we also can obtain electricity from water. Coal also, we call it as thermal energy. The energy that we get from coal is called as thermal energy. Okay, this is the energy or electricity what we get from coal. Okay, so according to this article, what is the most important thing is we are going to have something like this. Just see this. Just observe this. If you just observe these these villages, if you just see the tribal areas, they are all villages, right? You can see all these huts which are mostly found in the villages. So what happens is all these villages are using the solar powered energy these days. This is something very interesting, right? Because earlier they were not even using something based on electricity. They were using kerosene lamps. But nowadays, not only electricity, they are coming to advanced electricity like solar powered light or solar powered electricity. So this is something very interesting and very astonishing when we discuss about the fact that India has developed a lot. Recently we have celebrated our Independence Day, and we have something like, let me write it here. We have something like India at 75. What does this mean? India is 75 years old. This means that India is 75 years old. It's a free India. So India is a very old country. It's an age-old, ancient country. But the freedom that we got was just 75 years ago. As you know, from Britishers we got the freedom. So basically we can tell that India is 75 years old right now. A newborn India in the year 1947 is now 75 years old. That's it, very simple. I guess you understand the logic that I'm telling you, right? So this is about how our country has developed over the years. From kerosene lamps to solar powered light, you can just understand the way it has developed, the fast developing nature of a country. But still, if you just observe, India is still, till today, it is known as a developing country. It's not called as a developed country. Why so? Because of the people itself. Everything is because of the people. Let's not go deeper into that aspect of discussing why India is not a developed country yet. But let's say that India has developed a lot. Compared to the past, it has developed a lot till today, right? So that is what we need to focus on, and we need to make sure that this goes on, this increases. It should never decrease. The development and the growth should always increase. They should not decrease. So for example, they should increase like this, and they should not decrease. They can increase, they should not decrease. If they won't increase also, no problem. If they are stable like this also, no problem. Okay, understood what I told? These are graphs. So when you study graphically something, you remember it more easily when compared to the written part, right? So when I draw some pictures, and when you do it graphically, this is a graph, this is some picture, let us suppose, you remember that more clearly, and you can understand the concept much more easily. That is the reason. Now, so we are going to discuss a topic. India size and location. This is very, very important topic. Okay. So first of all, if you just observe here, so if you just observe, the topic that we are going to discuss is India size and location. And if you just see here, this is India map, right? I have drawn this India map in a freehand, but still this looks like India, right? So first let us understand, like if you just understand, see the heading, you can just tell that India size and location. We are going to discuss the size and location of India. That's it. Very simple topic, but also very important topic. Okay, let us start. So if you just see this, let us suppose this is the globe. It is divided into half by the equator. The middle line which is there, this is known as equator. This part which is there, the upper part, is known as northern hemisphere. The down part is known as southern hemisphere. So this middle part which divides the globe into two parts is known as equator, which is lying at 0 degrees, and the upper part is known as northern hemisphere, whereas the southern part is known as the down part is known as the southern hemisphere. If you just see in the whole world map, you have 7 continents, right? And India, if suppose this is the equator, India will lie here. So let's suppose this is India. Okay, India will lie here. Means India is completely located in the northern hemisphere. India is located in the northern hemisphere. The first point is, let's see location first. It's located in northern hemisphere. Okay, so this is where India is located, and it is located in the continent Asia. Okay, and as you all know, we have 28 states, 8 union territories in India. Union territories, what are union territories? You will be knowing very soon, but in India we have 28 states and 8 union territories. And if you see this river which flows here, no, this is known as Bay of Bengal. This side which is there, that is known as Arabian Sea. And the down part, there is an ocean which is known as Indian Ocean. So as India, so if you just see, if any country is covered all sides with water, that particular place or area is known as island. For example, Sri Lanka, Japan. But coming to India, all the 3 sides, for example, this is India, let us suppose. This side, this side, this side, it is located with water. It is surrounded with water. Whereas the other northern side, it is located or surrounded by land. 3 sides water, 1 side land. So India is known as peninsular. Why? Because 3 sides water are there and 1 side land is there. If 4 sides water are there, it is island. If 3 sides water and the other side land, it is known as peninsular. We can also tell this is also a point. India is peninsular country. Okay, these are very important points that you should not miss. So the total area, now let us see the size here. We will be seeing the size. Let me do one thing. So the total area means this part which is there, no, this total coverage of India, that coverage of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay, and India occupies 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. Means on the world map, if you just see on the world map, India occupies 2.4% of land on the world map. Okay, that is a very interesting point, because 2.4, which is almost equal to 2.5%, is a very great percentage when compared to all the countries, because we have in total we have 196 countries, right? Among them, India has 2.5% of land. It's a great thing. It's a fact. Okay. So now, if we just see the land boundary of India. So this is the land boundary, right? This part which is surrounded by land is called land boundary. So the land boundary of India is The land boundary of India is 15,200 kilometer, whereas the coastal boundary, which is the boundary which is surrounded by water, the coastal boundary is 7,517 kilometer. Okay, these are all very important information. You should note down all these, children. That's why I'm clearly writing it for you. Please note down these as a part of your notes, running notes. Okay, if you just observe, we have 5 oceans. We have 5 oceans in the whole world. Okay, on earth we have 5 oceans. Among them, Indian Ocean is one. Right, we know among them Indian Ocean is one ocean. No other ocean has a name of a country other than Indian Ocean. So this ocean is named after India. Why? Because most of the waters which are there, they come from India. First point. Next one is, it is very close to India. Okay, it is very close to India. Third one is, this part which is there, the Deccan Peninsula, the southern part of India, is like a V shape. It is protruding into the ocean. That's why it has the largest boundary on the Indian Ocean, for which the Indian Ocean is named after the country India. Okay, it's a very simple logic that you need to understand. Okay. So if you just see, children, this is our world map, right? So here India is located here. This is India. Okay, this is India. You can see this is India. It is located in the continent Asia, as I earlier told you. It is located in Asia. Now, just observe this, very important. India has trade relations with many countries. First thing, we can just go from here to here and it goes to the Americas. Like this it will go. And Africa also it will go like this. Okay. Like that, and this, if you just see, will go like this. For Russia also, no, it goes somewhere around like this, or through land routes if possible, if no countries are enemies in between them. So through this, all these lines, what are these lines, children? You just observe, what are these lines I've drawn? These are nothing but the trade relations of India. We can export and import through these routes. These are trade routes, trade relations or trade routes of India. We can export and import, that is, we can do trade through these routes. That's why they are known as trade routes of India. Okay. Now, let us see the countries which share land boundary with India. First one, Pakistan. Second one, Afghanistan. If you just see, the small part comes and touches India. That's why Afghanistan is also will also share a land boundary with India. Third one, China. Fourth one, Nepal. Fifth one, Bhutan. Sixth one, Bangladesh. Seventh one, Myanmar. So in total, 7 countries will share the land boundary with India. You might get a doubt. Afghanistan is there, Pakistan is there, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar. All these are 7 countries. What about Sri Lanka? If you just observe, I told land boundary, sharing of land boundary means it should touch India. Here Pakistan is touching India. Afghanistan has a little touch here. Okay, if you just observe carefully, there's a very little touch. China has it, Nepal has the touch with India, Bhutan has touch with India, Bangladesh and Myanmar also have touch with India. Coming to Sri Lanka, I'm going to zoom the picture for you. See, 1 minute. Okay. So here if you just see, there is no connection here. They are not being connected by land. If you just see, they are connected by sea. This is all, that blue color part is sea, water. It is water. It is not land. So therefore, Sri Lanka doesn't come under the sharing of land boundary with India. Okay, that is very important. Basically, people will think Sri Lanka is one of them, but no, it is not a country that shares its land with India. Okay. Now let us discuss about the Himalayan mountains. This is the topic. This is the second subtopic in our class. Okay. So we again have our India. Now if you just see, Himalayas are divided into 1 minute. So Himalayas are divided into 3 parts. Okay. First part is Himadri. So the first part is Himadri. Okay. So if you just see, the first part which we have is Himadri. So for example, if these are Himalayas, okay, these still here Himalayas will extend. So this part, upper part which is there, this is Himadri. The second part is known as Himachal. Okay. Third part is known as Shivaliks. So the second part is Himachal. The third part is Shivaliks. These are all 3 parts of India, of Himalayan mountains. Okay. And now this Himalayas is divided into 4 parts. This this first one, second one, third one, fourth one. 4 regions. Okay. The earlier one which we discussed is 3 parts. These are the parts. These are the regions. So the first region is, I've represented it, right? This first number which is there, it is known as Punjab Himalayas. The second one which is there, that is known as, second one is Kumaun Himalayas. This third one is Nepal Himalayas. This fourth one is Assam Himalayas. Okay. So children, today we have discussed the solar powered light. Okay, how this solar powered light has improved from kerosene to this solar powered in villages. We have seen that article or concept. We have studied about that. Second, we have seen about the India size and location. So what is India's location, what is India's size, and for example peninsular, so different important points we have seen. Okay, I have explained you including with the figures also, and the statistics. Okay, this information also I have given you. And the third concept that we have discussed is the Himalayan mountains. Okay, there are different parts and regions. Children, don't get confused between parts and regions. So parts means, I will do it with red color. So these are known as 3 parts of Himalayas. Whereas regions, if you see already it is in brown color, right? These are known as 4 regions: Punjab Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas, and Assam Himalayas. Okay, those are the regions. So don't get confused between both of these concepts. This is about it is a small introduction about the Himalayan mountains, which we all need to know. Just knowing that Himalayan mountains in the are located in the northern part of India, they are located here. Just knowing that doesn't mean that we know all about Himalayas. We need to know deeper. This is how you learn step by step. This process of learning is known as, process of learning. I'm making you to learn in a simple manner. The process of learning is called as layer by layer learning. So what is this layer by layer learning? Learning single concepts, small concepts, interlinking them, learning the complete concept. That is what is called as the layer by layer learning. This process, I am using this process to teach you. If you observe in any class of mine, I have been teaching by this process called layer by layer learning, which is very important. Okay, if you learn through such kind of new techniques and all, what happens is you will get to know the different angles, the different perspectives, how to learn a topic or concept, how to understand the concept very easily. To know that very easily, and to understand the concepts very easily, you can use such kind of techniques. Okay, these days you have a lot of them now to follow. Okay, so let us conclude our class. Thank you, children. This file will be posted in the group, in Young India group. You can just check for this file, and you can just once again you can just you can just recall the class if you want. If you want, you can also make notes out of it. Thank you, children. Let's meet in the next class.